Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we're going to move forward with some unknown gems. Before we get into that, just want to remind everybody, if you can, please like and subscribe. Today's band is called Furia. The song is called Ciało. That's probably mispronounced. It's a Polish word. It translates to body, though. And this is an obscure band for metal fans outside of Poland, which is interesting. So we're going to get into this one and see what we got on our hands here. With just the drums, I guess we're in 3 right here, but it's a very loose time we're in, that's for sure. And the only reason I think we're in 3 is because the drum is in a 3-beat phrase, but I'm not even really sure where 1 is, where the downbeat is right now. Alright, I think I found it. I think that snare with the beats turned off is our downbeat. So it's really cool they ramped up the noise level while still retaining that same feel from the beginning and actually utilizing that same melody line. Dude, that bass tone. Drummer's killing it back there with those snare hits. Just real heavy-handed with these downbeat attacks. And just a lot of power in that vocal work as well.
Miało go mało.
Yeah, so the guitars are doing this tremolo pick thing, and at the end of the pattern, they actually switch to eighth notes, or maybe actually I think it's quarter notes, and they play this walking down, and it's a really nice rhythm contrast. Yeah. Yeah, so it is eighth notes. That was it right there. That doo 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 doo. I just realized how low the bass kicks are in the mix too. For a song that's so heavy. Yeah, for a song that's so heavy, it's interesting that the bass kicks are almost mixed out of the song. I like those alternating notes in the left-hand guitar. Maybe that's the bass, actually. No, it's not. It's the guitar. Nope, I take that back. It's the bass. This mix is weird. Actually, the bass and guitar are both doing it. That's what it's harmonized. That's what I was having an issue with. Oh, that little hi-hat. Real nice piece of ornamentation against all of the harshness. Just have that that really high-pitched bell hit. It sounded like, oh dang, it's over already. I think that might be the fastest black metal song we've listened to. I don't want to be mean to black metal. It's not usually my type of music, and it usually feels like it goes on for a pretty long time for me. And this just, I mean, that just went by quick. Yeah. All right, so there's some really cool things going on in here. They use contrast a lot. We have that really nice subtle opening that leads into the meat of the song, the core of the song, which is going to be the black metal, real heavy-handed even, emphasizing a lot of downbeats. We have some tremolo picking and just a lot of textural repetition. And then, of course, the growling vocals that fit more into the music than above it, like more popular styles of music, like pop and rock and stuff, where the vocals are usually elevated. So, in that sense, the song does go for a lot of pretty standard ideas as far as black metal goes, but I feel like it's the nuances that kind of separate these guys for me from some of the other stuff we've checked out. One of the things is harmony. We, from what I remember, we don't actually listen to this genre too often on the channel. But from what I remember, there sometimes is harmony in the tremolo picking. You might have two instruments doing it, and they might be separated by a third or a fifth, usually something a little more palatable, because a little more harmonious, a little more stable, just because we're already getting so much distortion from the guitar tones that you don't want to include more by using like a second, because that's just, it's not going to sound good even if you're going for a harsh tone or harsh sound by combining the instruments doing a harmony. So there's sometimes guitars where we hear two guitars both doing tremolo picking, but here we actually have harmony in layers outside of the tremolo picking. The tremolo picking still creates the core texture and tension of the sound. Just those rapid fire harsh attacks is what really drives a lot of black metal from what I've heard. But this one also utilizes some other aspects of melody, counterpoint, and harmony to create a bit more musical work underneath and within the textural work that the genre is known for. And I think that's might be what really got me to get into the music and what made it go by so fast, because there was that extraness that was something for me to latch on to and really listen for. One moment I pointed out is during what I think is the chorus. We get the tremolo picked instruments. I mean the tremolo picked guitar line. But on the fourth bar of it, we get this nice eighth note walking. It's almost like alternating arpeggiation, where you skip one and then you come up to the middle, and then you skip again, you come up to the middle, and you keep doing this almost like a leapfrog idea. And that's used to separate the textural and the harsh textural work of the tremolo picking. And I just love that they included that little walk. Another thing is that there was one section where we had the tremolo pick guitar is present pretty much throughout the entire song. But then we have the other guitar and the bass doing this eighth note thing, alternating between two notes, do 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 do, and moving with the chord, and you get this nice octave harmony from that, and that is running against the tremolo picking, and it just creates this interesting duality of the song where, yes, there is this heavy textural work that comes from giving the tremolo picked instruments most of the presence in the track. You're going to get that harsh, frequent attack that defines the genre. But they also implement these little pieces of melody, these little pieces of harmony, these counterpoint elements that elevate the style a little bit as far as my eyes. I'm sure there might be some purists who hear this and say it's not heavy enough, it's not harsh enough, those melodic elements soften the sound to a detriment. Yeah, I mean that's valid. if you're listening to the style of music for the heaviness, any sort of element that's going to soften the weight or soften the harshness of it is going to be a negative, and that's fine. That's, like I said, that's valid opinion. But for me, I'm looking for more of those elements in music. And I've talked about this before, bridge bands or bridge songs. Songs that are going to help people get from more palatable music to harsher music. And for me, one of the things I look for in a bridge band for myself is going to be elements of harmony and melody and counterpoint and some more of the classical elements. That's how I'm going to get into the heavier music. I'm going to need to find something that I already enjoy, something I already listen to, within, played next to, played around the harsher elements that I'm not too keen on. And I find music like this, and it allows me to latch on to something. And like I said, this is the first black metal song, I think, that hasn't felt like it's dragged on. And again, I don't want that to sound mean. I don't want that to put down the genre or any bands who play within the genre. But it's just not a sound that I find likable. And these songs tend to go on for quite some time. I don't think we've listened to a short black metal song before. So it just tends to feel a bit longer because I'm not necessarily enjoying the music alongside the analysis. But yeah, for this one, like I said, I was really enjoying some of the musical aspects, and it's going to get me into the genre to have these elements to latch on to, where I can enjoy aspects of the music other than the harshness, and I may return to it for those elements other than the harshness. And every time I return to music like this, I get more accustomed to the harsher elements, and I slowly get into it. I've mentioned before, Ginger is a fantastic bridge band because they use so many non-metal elements against their, very low, harsh tones and the growling. But they also have pop vocals. They've implemented reggae. They've implemented some jazz ideas. They kind of throw in some rock and new metal from time to time. So that's one of the ways that Ginger has gotten me into harsher music and harsher sounds, is because they approach stuff that I already enjoy and put that next to the stuff I don't. And just by proxy of uh, being in the presence of these harsher elements, I'm slowly going to get more accustomed to it. So that's something I see happening here. This is a band, or at least a song. I don't know if this represents all of their works, but this is a song that could get me into more black metal style writing. Um, because, like I said, it meets me halfway. I don't have to make all the work to get onto its level. They also have a couple of different elements, or a couple of different sections in the song that provide small breaks from the constant attacks of the tremolo guitar, the tremolo picking on the guitar. We have the opening, which is very atmospheric and uh, very, I don't want to say sweet and mellow, but chill, right? There's still a little bit of ominous element to it. It's not like it is sitting in a garden with, butterflies flying around and flowers everywhere. There's still some darkness to it, but it hasn't quite hit that heaviness yet. And there was one section where it felt like we almost hit a halftime feel, but honestly, it's probably just because we weren't doing a tremolo picking, so it felt slower. And these elements, of course, I've talked about this before, they don't only provide sections for the listener to breathe and have a chance to relax and collect themselves and think about what they've listened to, but it also provides context for the harsher, heavier elements, and it makes that stand out more by contrast. We have seen some quieter, softer parts, and it makes the louder parts, makes the peaks even more peakier. That's not a word. When you're at 100 all the time, that's not too loud. But when you go from 20% to 100%, that's a huge volume gap. You're reaching for your volume knob to turn things down. So, and that's what's happening here. The harshness is elevated because there's elements of the song that don't provide that same heaviness. Now, of course, again, this is all, bias. There's definitely psychology to go into this to say that peaks are peakier when you have the opposite to contrast them against. But at the same time, we're talking about art, and there's no hard, fast rules to making music. So if you want to go 100% all the time, you want to pull a Kraulis, don't put those softer areas in it. Um, but for me, personally, I really enjoy those aspects. They bring out the harsher elements, but it also gives me a chance to kind of collect myself and be like, wow, I get a chance to breathe now. That last part was pretty intense. So yeah, I think there's going to be a few people in the community who are going to enjoy this find. I don't know how large they are. They only have 200 subscribers on YouTube. And this song only has 3,000 views. So I'm hoping that this is a rarer band, a lesser known band in the community. But judging by some people who keep pushing me towards black metal, I'm hoping some people have found a new favorite band here. But those are my thoughts on Furia's Ciało, and I apologize for that pronunciation. It is probably terrible. This is where you guys come in, though. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed it or not. Let me know if it bounced off you, anything that stuck out that you really enjoyed that maybe I didn't touch on. When you're done commenting, you can head up to the description box. There's a link in there for Linktree. Anything you need adjacent to the channel is in there. You want to check out the Discord community, chat with me and the rest of the community. Links in there. You want to support the channel through Patreon. The link's in there. You want to see what's coming up on future special selections. The link is in there. Above that, you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All three of those things help out the channel immensely. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC with yet another special selection. Until next time, oh man, with yet another unknown gem. Whew, I gotta wake up. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.